Hey everyone, Sherm here. Welcome to my first reaction video of any kind. And I apologize for the sort of mediocrity of it, but hopefully it'll get better soon. So, a little background about me and my relationship with Kiss. My uncle turned me on to Kiss when I was a little kid, probably about 5 years old. This was around the time of Dynasty, when that was out. So I kind of came in like right as they were kind of going down a little bit. And I remember he burned a cassette for me with 5 or 6 songs, and from that moment on I was hooked. Got Kiss Alive, listened to that thing over and over in my bedroom, probably for years. And yeah, ever since then, just die-hard fan. So ranking the albums is interesting because it could literally change any day, I'm sure, as with any of your other rankings. It's tough to do, but, you know, again, they could change every day. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to start with the last album, my least favorite, which is number, what do we got here? 24. By the way, I am not ranking the live albums, and I'm not ranking any greatest hits compilations. I am ranking the solo albums in with these, though. So first, or I should say last, at number 24, I have Carnival of Souls. So it's kind of hard to rank this album because it's very different from any... Kiss has a few albums that are very different from most of the stuff in their catalog. This is one of them. This came out in... it came out in 97, but it was recorded around 94, 95. I had a bootleg copy of this when before it came out, around 95. The internet was just starting, and someone was selling bootleg copies of the album, and I was just rabid to get my hands on it because I was a huge fan of Revenge. And I got the tape, and for some reason the speed on it was a lot faster than it is on the album, like significantly faster. But it was killer. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was the best thing they had ever done. You know, this is around the time of grunge and all that stuff too, so, you know, they were definitely trying to fit in with that. Years later, not as huge of a fan of it. It's great. The performances are awesome. Bruce is awesome on it. Like I said, the performances are great. There's some great songs on here. I just don't find myself going back to this album very often anymore. Hate is a great song. Rain's great. Master and Slave is really good. Childhood's End. Seduction of the Innocent's really good. But it's just not really Kiss, you know? So that's why that is at number 24. Number 23 is the album that came right after this, I believe. Yep. Psycho Circus, 1998. Not a bad album. It didn't meet the standards of what I was looking for with the reunion of the 4 of them in the studio. And not only that, but I think the 4 of them only played on 1 or 2 songs. I think they said that the 4 original members only played on Into the Void, but I'm pretty positive it's the 4 original on You Wanted the Best, because the drumming is, you know, okay. You can tell it's probably Peter Criss at that point in his career. But there are some cool songs on here. Psycho Circus is a great song. Within is heavy as hell. Pledge Allegiance is cool. Into the Void's okay. We Are One I used to love. It's cool. You Wanted the Best, honestly, to me, is probably one of the worst Kiss songs ever. It's just so cheesy. It's so cheesy. Raise Your Glasses is catchy. Journey of a Thousand Years I really like. Yeah, you know, not a bad album. They also talk so much throughout this album about their relationship with the fans and We Are One and, you know, all this stuff. It just, I don't know, it seems a little hokey to me. So yeah, Psycho Circus 23. 22, we have Sonic Boom. This came out in 2009. I'm lucky that I actually have one of the original colored vinyls, the green. This is a cool album. You know, it's definitely very reminiscent of the rock and roll over era. I think they deliberately were going for that. There's some great tunes on here. Modern Day Delilah I love. Russian Roulette's pretty cool. Stand, I like. It's cheesy as hell, but it's catchy. Say Yeah is really cool. I'm an Animal's cool. But then there's some stuff on here that's just, I mean, Dangerous is awful. It's just, no. Never Enough, I mean, that's nothing but a good time for Poison, really. Hot and Cold's okay, you know. There's some cool stuff on here. You could tell Paul's voice at that point was starting to kind of not be as good, but yeah, not bad. At number 21, we at 21. Monster. This is the one right after Sonic Boom, came out in 2012, and this is pretty good. For, you know, it's not bad. It's better than Sonic Boom, I think. I think the quality's better. I think on Sonic Boom, Tommy Thayer was trying to, or was told to, sound exactly like Ace. I mean, there are riffs that are just taken right from the early Kiss records. On this one, he's a little more himself. That could be why I enjoy it a little bit more than Sonic Boom. Hallelujah is pretty cool. Very I Stole Your Love-ish. Wall of Sound's cool. It's heavy. Freak's cool. Long Way Down's cool. Eat Your Heart Out. The Devil Is Me. You know, there's some cool stuff on here. Definitely sounds like classic Kiss, but you know, some of the songs just aren't as good. Yeah, not too bad though. So Monster at 21. Number 20, Peter Criss's solo album. You know, as a kid, I listened to it, but I didn't listen to it as much as the other ones. It just wasn't as Kiss-like. You know, as you get older and listen to it a little bit, it's really not that bad. It's not that bad of an album. He gets ragged on a lot about it by the band as well. But I mean, it's not a bad. I mean, I'm Gonna Love You is cool. It's, you know, very R&B. You Matter to Me. A lot of this stuff is nostalgic too. There's a lot of nostalgia here with some of these records with me. Don't You Let Me Down, I like. I mean, Easy Thing's a really cool ballad. Hooked on Rock and Roll is not bad. Yeah, there's some cool stuff on here. It's, you know, it's an R&B record basically. Some ballads, a couple of little rockers in there. But yeah, I don't hate this. I don't think it deserves the hate it gets. So that's at number 20. Number 19, Hot in the Shade. This used to be way lower in my list. This used to be last, actually. But there's some cool stuff on here. Rise to It's fun. Betrayed's pretty cool. Forever, obviously. Silver Spoon, King of Hearts. You know, not too bad. Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell is not too bad. You Love Me to Hate You. Yeah, it's not too bad. I will say, though, this, to me, was the best tour that they ever did. There was something about that. I saw that tour 3 times. And there was something about this tour. They got the classic songs back in it. You know, they felt reinvigorated. It was just an awesome show. The Sphinx, the lasers. So I have some props here as well. So this is from that tour. Still in pretty good condition. I actually wear this sometimes still. So that's cool. Yeah, Hot in the Shade, not too bad. Not great. At number, what are we at? 18. Crazy Nights. Actually, this one used to be last. I think Hot in the Shade was second last. The production on this is really not very good. It's very wimpy. There's not a lot of low end to it, I don't think. Crazy Nights is a fantastic song. I love that song. You know, Reason to Live's pretty cool. Bang Bang You and No 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 are honestly 2 of the worst songs in Kiss's catalog. I can't believe they played Bang Bang You live on that tour. They played No 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 live on that tour too, actually. Like, come on. And another travesty from this era, how they left Sword and Stone off this album. Just no words for that one. That would have been the best song on here by a mile with Crazy Nights. I mean, those 2 songs, yeah, I don't know why that wasn't on here. That's a bad move. But yeah, it's cheesy, a lot of keyboards. again, nostalgia. You know, I was about 13 when this came out, so it's okay. It's okay. Not their best 80s output. All right, we got number 17. We got Gene Simmons' solo album. I like this album. It's pretty all over the place. Radioactive. I mean, that intro, the evil intro there, you know, that's just awesome. That's just amazing. And Radioactive is awesome too. Great song. Burning Up with Fever is pretty good. I love See You Tonight. See You Tonight is an absolutely fantastic song. Tunnel of Love, True Confessions, whatever. I don't know. Living in Sin I used to like as a kid. It's pretty cheesy. Always Near You Know What to Hide's interesting. That's an interesting tune. Mr. Make Believe I like. I don't know why he had to redo See You in Your Dreams, but it's not bad. But When You Wish Upon a Star, classic. I see why he did it though. I get it. It's not that bad. All right, what do we got? Got number 16. Got Animalize. Yeah, this is a cool 80s album. This is a very 80s album, actually. I've had enough. Into the Fire, Heaven's on Fire, Under the Gun, Thrills in the Night. You know, the Paul songs are pretty good here. Burn Bitch Burn, I mean, Lonely as the Hunter, I do like While the City Sleeps. I really do like that song. I think that's a little bit of a hidden gem. I don't know. I've always liked that song. Yeah, it's definitely very 80s, but it's cool. I remember this time very well, you know, as a kid watching MTV, world premiere of Heaven's on Fire. Yeah, it's cool. I saw them in this tour. My first tour seeing them was actually Creatures of the Night. I was 8 years old, and that's coming down the road. Oh, sorry, Amazon person. All right, anyway, here we go. Next. What do we got? Number what? 15. Asylum. Asylum's a really cool 80s record. I mean, the production's a little beefier than Analyze, I think. Eric's playing on this album is really good. Eric Carr's a huge influence on me, being a drummer. Huge. So just, you know, the intro to King of the Mountain was always awesome to listen to. That's a great song. Any Way You Slice It's cool. Who Wants to Be Lonely is amazing. You know, Tears Are Falling is great. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun album. You know, cheesy lyrics as always, but yeah, it's a fun album. All right, what else do we have here? At number 14, I get Dynasty. Again, this was probably the album that was out when I first got into them. That or Unmasked, I'm not positive. And yeah, this is a cool album. You know, they were definitely losing their mojo at this time. And I know Peter only played on one song on this album. But there's some great tunes on this. I mean, I Was Made for Loving You, as cheesy as it might be, and disco and whatever. It's a classic. 2000 Man's great. Sure Know Something's amazing. Dirty Living's cool. Charisma's awesome. Magic Touch, fantastic. Probably one of Paul Stanley's best songs. Hard Time is great. Even X-Ray Eyes. Yeah, I mean, all these songs are great, you know. Yeah, it's a cool album. And I love that they, you know, putting posters in the albums at this point, so that was always really cool. All right, Dynasty, what do we got? 13. Music from the Elder. This album. This was the first Kiss album I went out to buy on my own. Well, my parents drove me. But I was 7 when this came out, and again, this was right after I started getting into them. So this was the first album they released, I believe, after I got into them. So honestly, at this point, they could have fired it into the mic for 40 minutes, and I would have been like, this is the best thing ever. So The Elder, I mean, you know, from my point of view, they couldn't have done any wrong as a humongous fan. So, you know, there's nostalgia here as well, huge. But this album gets very unfairly treated by the band, I think. I mean, obviously they lived it, they know what they were going through at that time, I get it, but, you know, there's some awesome songs on this. Only You, Under the Rose, Dark Light is great, The Oath, you know, even Mr. Blackwell's weird. I mean, it's different, it's kind of cool. Escape from the Island, you know, just the whole album I love. You know, it holds this very special place for me, but yeah, this is one of the 3 albums I said that it's kind of hard to rank because they're very different than their normal output, but yeah, The Elder I've always liked a lot, actually. 12. Alright, I'm going to get so much hate for this, no question about it, but when I'm ranking these, it's basically, I know everybody's got their opinion. Everybody's list is going to be different. I'm a lifelong fan. So the way I'm ranking these is basically which ones do I put on more? You know, not necessarily which ones were more important, influential, or anything like that. It's just which ones do I usually put on more than the others. So the first album, I know. Here's the thing. If I put Alive on this list, that would be probably number 1 or number 2 on this list. So this is just the studio albums. Like if I'm going to listen to these songs from this album, or the first 3 generally, I'll put on Alive, unless it's a song that's not on there. And there's some really great songs from these albums that aren't on there. But, you know, the production's okay. The songs are slower than they are in Alive. Yeah, I mean, every song's a classic pretty much on here, except maybe Kissin' Time, and that's one of the first songs I ever heard from them, so I don't hate it. Let Me Know is great. Yeah, again, they're just, the versions of these songs aren't the best, so I have to put it down there. Again, though, classic album. Number 11, Harder Than Hell. Same exact reason. Production on this is really, really not that good. But it kind of gives it its own, you know, aura about it, I guess. Every song on this is good, really. You know, the ones that aren't on Alive, Mainline, Coming Home. Coming Home is awesome. Great version on Unplugged. You know, Going Blind, Parasite, probably top 10 Kiss songs. It's awesome. Awesome album. Just the production's kind of Dressed to Kill. Production's a little better on this one. It's definitely cleaner. I always liked, for some reason, the way the drums sounded on this album. It just sounds like a drum set. Sounds like you're in the room. Room Service, great. Two-Timer, Love, even Ladies in Waiting. Found those 2 songs like sister songs almost. Getaway's cool. Rock Bottom, super long intro, but I love it. Come On Love Me. Love Her All I Can, I absolutely love. It's a great song. I mean, these are all great. I don't remember if the newer versions of this vinyl pressing, I don't remember if it's like the way it was on the original, but as a kid, my original copy, the length between the songs is really, really long, and I think I read that it was to, you know, add more album time to it. Length, I don't know if that's true, but I believe it because it's a pretty short album. Alright. We got number 9. Love Gun. Yeah, it's an awesome album. Probably one of the best album covers. I Stole Your Love, Christine 16. Got Love for Sale has always been one of my favorites, actually. Shock Me. Tomorrow and Tonight is cheesy. Whatever. That song's okay. Obviously, Love Gun, Hooligan I love. Almost Human's awesome. I even like And Then She Kissed Me. I don't know. Not bad. Yeah, this was, you know, Kiss at their absolute peak right here. I was too young at this point. I was about probably 3 when this came out. My dad and my uncle, though, did go to see them on the Love Gun tour, or the Alive 2 tour, I can't remember. So I kind of remember them doing that. Alright, so we got 8. Paul Stanley. I absolutely love this album. The only song... This one would be a tough one to choose between 1 and 2 with the other guy I haven't mentioned yet. But if this didn't have Hold Me, Touch Me on here, and had, if he had like All American Man or something from Alive 2 on here instead, this could be number 1, I'm not sure, of the solo albums, that is. Tonight You Belong to Me, probably my favorite Paul Stanley song ever. Certainly top 5, no question. That song is just amazing. I absolutely love that song. Move On's pretty good. Ain't Quite Right Like. Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? Great song. Love Take Me Away. It's kind of proggy. The drums in it being a drummer, I love Carmen Apiece, or Appice, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. Love and Change, pretty cool. Goodbye, love that song as well. Paul Stanley solo album, great. Okay, now this is going to get me in a lot of trouble as well, I think. So at 7, Unmasked. I love this album. I just love this album. Again, probably because that was what was out when I was turned onto them for the first time. I had these songs when they came out. I was, probably 6 years old. I just totally nostalgia. I mean, if I heard these songs today for the first time, most of them I'd probably be like, this is awful. But I just love this album. I just find myself going back to playing this album all the time. Shandy's amazing. I love that song. It's just a great, it's a great song by Paul. Naked City is a great song. Great Jeans song. Talk to Me's cool. Is That You's cool. Tomorrow, I think, is a great song. Torpedo Girl, that's very cheesy. What Makes the World Go Round, very cheesy, but, You're All That I Want's okay. Yeah, plus the cover's kind of cool. I know it's like bubblegummy, but I don't know. I love it. I love that album. Plus the poster's awesome, too. So, number 6, Ace Frehley. This is almost a perfect album, really, for me, as far as at least in the Kiss catalog. And in general, the only song that is kind of okay to me is I'm in Need of Love. It just kind of, Ozone, probably second to last on the album for me. Just a little repetitive, but I still love it. Rip It Out, Speeding Back to My Baby. Snowblind is amazing. What's on Your Mind? Amazing. New York Groove, obviously. Wiped Out, I love. And Fractured Mirror, I absolutely love that instrumental. It paints a picture. It's like a mood. I don't know how to explain, but yeah, Ace. C, 5. Not in the top 5 here. These could flip-flop at any point, again. But right now I got Revenge. I absolutely love this album as well. Unholy, I remember when they came out with this album, seeing the video, and it was just like, whoa, they're back. Like, they mean business. And, they get Vinnie Vincent back to write some of the songs in this. Take It Off's great. Tough Love, Spit. I like every song on this album. Literally every song on this album. Yeah, there's not anything I don't like on here. Domino, I love Domino, but, it's okay. Tough Love, I love. Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing bad to say about this album. I find myself going back to this one a lot. I remember seeing this tour as well, and I remember it was extremely loud. Very, very loud tour. All right, 4. The second concert I ever saw in my life. Lick It Up. This album is brutally heavy. This is probably the heaviest album, I think. If this album had the exact same production as Creatures, it would absolutely destroy. And the production is really good on this. Exciter, Not for the Innocent, Lick It Up. Young and Wasted, Give Me More is cool, All Hell's Breaking Loose. I even like Dance All Over Your Face, honestly. And On the Eighth Day, I always loved that song. I thought it was a great anthem. A Million to One, top 5, probably Paul Stanley song. Some of the songs he did on the solo tour he did back in 2006, he brought out some of his best, like, hidden gems. Magic Touch, Million to One, Tonight You Belong to Me. I know I'm missing one. But yeah, he was playing some good ones on that one. So yeah, Lick It Up is number 4. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show a couple of these things here. Crazy Nights tour book. This was got this in '87 at it was the Providence Civic Center. All right, this was my Asylum T-shirt. Right. Let's see, what else do we have? We got the Asylum tour book. Pretty cheesy. This as well. This is the tour book from the Alive, I believe the Alive 2 or the Love Gun tour. Probably the Alive 2 tour, if it was 77, 78. My uncle, my dad, or one of them that went to this show got this. And like an idiot as a kid, just cut the pages out and scraps and just a mess. So not worth anything. But yeah, still cool. All right, number 3, yeah, Creatures of the Night. This is just a brutally heavy album. Eric Carr's drums on this are amazing. They sound like cannons. It's just one of the best drum sounds I've ever heard on a record, ever. Creatures of the Night, top 10 Kiss song, no doubt. Saint and Sinner, Keep Me Coming, Rock and Roll Hell, Danger. The only one on this album that I'm is Killer. It's okay. No, it's good. But compared to the rest of them, you know. And Danger's cool. But yeah, I mean, just a slamming album. Also, probably one of the best album covers ever. No question about it. So, oops, that goes up here. So, being my first tour, this is my first tour t-shirt. It is absolutely tiny right now. Yeah, I got this January of '83 at the Worcester Centrum. Pretty cool, 10th anniversary show. I remember getting there and seeing these at the merchandise booth, and I was like, who's that guy? Because nobody knew if Ace was really in the band or not at that point. It was kind of weird. Okay. 2. Now we're in the top 2. Rock and Roll Over. This album contains my favorite Kiss song, I Want You. I Want You is, it just, to me, that's Kiss. Like, that is just Kiss. Paul Stanley's first or second best song, so I guess it would have to be his first. This is my favorite Kiss song, but yeah. The Alive 2 version is better than the album version, I think. That's the one I usually listen to. Take Me's awesome. Calling Dr. Love. I mean, Ladies Room, Baby Driver, Love 'Em, Leave 'Em. Mr. Speed's amazing. Great song. Yeah, every song on this is great. Plus, it's an awesome album cover. Yeah, not much to be said about this album. Production, I love. You know, it was done at a theater. It's very, obviously, roomy sounding. Awesome album. So, obviously, then, number 1. I mean, you know, I don't really have to talk about why it's number 1. It's, you know, sometimes it's hard to rank it as number 1 because some of these songs are just so overplayed. You just hear them all the time. They're classics, but, I mean, this is just an awesome album. Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World, God of Thunder, Great Expectations, I love. I know a lot of people are kind of iffy on that. I love that song. Flaming Youth, Sweet Pain, Shout It Out Loud, Beth, Do You Love Me? Every single one of these songs is pretty much a classic. This is it. This is number 1. This usually is number 1, I think, on most people's lists, so I think Kiss fans, for the majority, agree this is probably their best album. Yeah, so that's it. That's my Kiss ranking. My first ranking video. Hopefully, maybe if this goes over well, I'll do some more. I got to get Van Halen on here because between 1 and 2 favorite bands, I don't know which one. Between them and Kiss. So yeah, I guess I'm supposed to say like and subscribe to the page because that's what everybody does. But yeah, do that too. So yeah, thanks for watching, and post some comments down below. Would love to see your lists. I know obviously everybody's list is different. But yeah, post yours as well, so I'll take a look.